All right, we are in chapter 11 on section views. We're doing exercise number 6, the lock cap. So go ahead and save this as LockCap-3D. Now, as you take a look at this drawing, the section view that we're going to do, we're going to actually split this in half going this way. So we're going to create a full section view in our orthographic drawing and our print for this. So in order to do this, we're actually going to start, if you think about this with the isometric that's showing here, this direction right here is the front view, looking down on it is the top. So I'm going to start by sketching this in the top plane. So let's go ahead and create a sketch. We're going to sketch on the top plane, bring this around. We see right over here, I'm going to make my origin point this x0 or y0. So we're going to start with our center there, and that hole is a 1-inch diameter. Now I'm going to go ahead and just do a bunch of diameters here to kind of get these in place. So we see the next one here is going to be a 2-inch diameter, and then we also have a 2.5-inch diameter, which is really shown by that 1-inch radius and 1.25-inch radius down there as you're looking at the print. So we're going to come back over here now. I'm going to keep in line. So I'm going to make these collinear with each other. We've also got this diameter hole, which is 0.75. So, and we're going to do the same thing over here, i.e. this was a 2.5-inch diameter as well for the same 1.25-inch radius that's at that end. Now I am going to dimensionally tie these in. So between centers, we see that that dimension is 3 inches. So I can go ahead and start to add lines in. So I'm going to add the line from here to there. So come back in, we'll add this line down here. So get that in there. As we take a look, so I also know there's a line that kind of comes from here over some here. And if you take a look at this, that line is 2 inches long. So I'll go ahead and just kind of draw that at 2 inches, enter. So then we can kind of bring this down somewhere at 90 degrees and move over, and it reconnects right there. So I'm not worried about these dimensions yet. We'll fix those when we come in at the shortly. So let's kind of do the same thing again. This is 2 inches as well, so we can make those together, bring that in, and there, that's taken care of right now. Let's go ahead and cut some of the stuff that we don't need out now. So I don't need this, so we can get rid of that. And we don't need this, so we get rid of that. Couple other constraints we need to make. So we do need to tie in and dimension this size, which because there's 1.2 inches between these, so we want to make this 0.6, and then we will dimensionally constrain these to the 1.2. So there's that dimension. And lastly, we also see that we've got a radius in this corner. You can see that down here. So let's go ahead and put that fillet in, and that is a 0.15. So it's already there. Same thing here, 0.15. So, and I've got my sketch all taken care of. Real quick with that. So everything looks pretty good. So we're in good shape. So let's go ahead and finish that sketch. Let's bring this around into the isometric. Now, I'm going to basically start by extruding everything down the dimension that I need. So I'm going to select this and that. We're going to switch this dimension, and the depth of this, if we take a look at the outside, we can say that the overall is 1 1/4 right here, but then you have this that's going from here there is 1/4. So this dimension will be 1, which is already set there with the auto default, so that's good. We'll go ahead and say good for that one. Notice my sketch was constrained by that extrusion, so I want to reuse that sketch, so I'm going to come back to sketch 1, poke it in the eye. So let's come back and extrude this now. The top surface here, this is an extrusion of 0.25. So to get that in place, so that gives me that. And now the last thing I need to do is come back in here and hollow out the inside of this as well. Now we've got a couple of different things that we could use and a couple of choices. So I'm going to kind of turn off my viewing planes or those planes right now because they're kind of getting in my way. We do have what we call a shell. So now I could use the shell feature. So, and just click on this and it will shell this by the 0.1 inch, and it would basically leave the same amount of material all the way around it. Now, it also, notice how it also kind of leaves that material right there around those holes. So now, in this case, the thickness of this would be 0.25, so I could go in there and change that and thicken that up. Except for the fact that that's not what I want. It really needs to come out, and these need to be removed as well. So I can't use shell, but that is a great solid modeling tool there. So what I'm really going to need to do is just go back and create another sketch on this to do another extrusion. Now, I'm going to use existing geometry here in this sketch. And what do I mean by that? Well, we have right here in this tool use projector convert. So I'm going to basically click and left click on the use project and convert. I want these outside edges to be part of the geometry that I'm going to use, and then I need to offset those. So we're going to say offset. Now that goes the other way, so let's just switch this. And it is actually 0.25, so we're good on that. I don't have to change that. But now I'm going to do the same thing here on these other spaces as well. So let's come back, get this as well. Need to offset that one 0.25 as well. All right, so I've got everything there, so we're in good shape with that. Let's go ahead and get out of the sketch, and we will extrude this. Now, in this case, we are removing this material, and the distance that we're removing is 0.75. So we'll go ahead and take care of that, and that completes our drawing. Let's take a look. This is what it looks like from the front. So we can kind of rotate up to or down to see what it looks like from the top. So there's my top view, and this of course is the isometric view that we see. So just double check with the drawing. You'll see there that it looks good. If we want to get this type of viewpoint, we kind of can flip-flop it, rotate it around. So if you really think about how this would be going on the other side, so we'd be more or less looking at it from this corner right here, and that's why you can kind of see the relationship here between these isometric views there and these different types of views that are coming in play. So our next step then is to create the actual section drawing. So let's go ahead and turn off our sketches so everything looks. Now let's come right here to the plus. So we're going to create a drawing here. Keep the ANSI A size drawing. So go, no views is fine. We'll click OK. This is going to come in with our front view. Now, notice this is a 1:2 or a half size drawing. Let's go ahead and change that to a 1:1. So we'll place this drawing right here. So, and we will move up to place our top view. Okay, hit escape to get out of the view placement. Now, so we've got our top view, which is what we want to start with. We actually want the section view to be here. So let's left click on this and hit delete. Let's get rid of that. So we can come right over here to create our section view. Now notice, this is giving us a vertical and saying a vertical section view, which if we did that, notice we could come over here, we could place that like this. So, and you'd see what that looks like. So let's undo that. That's not what we want. And same vertical view, if we kind of come from here to there, so place it over here, you'd see that's what it looks like. So undo that. Not again, not what we want. So the one that we actually want here is the horizontal view. So we're going to come right in here from this midpoint to that midpoint, bring it down here, place that. So there is the view in terms of the section view. Let's go ahead and right click up here so we can show and hide. We'll show all the hidden lines here as well, so you can kind of see what this looks like here. And the only thing that would be left on this drawing now at this point is for us to go back and start to add the dimensions and make sure that this was a fully dimensioned part as well.